Hey guys, how's it going? So, I know I've talked about this a little bit before, but it's just been something that's been on my mind here lately, so I wanted to talk about it again. And it's about the power of words. Now, the power of words, the words you say are can be very powerful. They can both be uplifting, but they can also tear somebody down. And we need to be careful with what we say to others because the way we speak to others, we never know how it can affect them. Just depending on what kind of day they're having, those words can either really bring them up or they can tear them down even more than they may already be that day. Now, if they're having a great day, maybe you saying something negative to them, some words that are tearing them down, may not affect them that much. But if they're having a terrible day, it could just make it that much worse for them. So you've really got to pay attention to people. Um, I'm a really big people person, so I really try and pay attention to them, try and show them that I care for them, show them what they mean to me, and try and be positive all the time. That's one thing I try and do, try and smile and be positive all the time. I feel like that's just a better way to live than to be pessimistic and have a negative outlook on life. I feel like the more negative you are, the more negative things will be in your life. So the more positive you are, the more positive things seem to come into your life. Kind of like the law of attraction. Whatever you put out is what you get in return. Now, an example of the power of words, and this is kind of more of an advertising thing, but it's one thing I've really been thinking about, and actually it's from a sermon, I believe, that my preacher did. I can't remember if it's a sermon or Bible study, but anyways, he had said something kind of along these lines, and it's kind of like a book review. If I told you I have this book, you really need to buy it. It has over 1,000 reviews. Or I could say, I have this book. It is awesome. It's doing really well. It has 1,001 reviews. Which one sounds better? I'm sure you're probably thinking, well, over 1,000 reviews. Well, both of them are over 1,000. So over 1,000 reviews, very generic, just saying I have more than 1,000, or very specific, and I say I have 1,001 reviews now. Now, when you hear over 1,000, you're probably thinking more than one over 1,000. You know, and so that's the power of words. And that goes to advertising. You see this all the time. People say all these things to really get you to buy their product, whatever it may be. So the power of words is something we can't explain. We never know how they're going to affect people from day to day. And now I'm not saying you should tiptoe around people, and there's a time and a place to be constructive, to tell people that, hey, look, you need to fix this. This is not good. You're not, you know, something needs to change, and there's a time and place for that. And that's something that you do in private. You don't sit there in front of their colleagues, tear them down like that. You say, hey, my office now, let's talk, or hey, look, we need to go outside, whatever, parent, boss, whatever the situation may be. You need to go take care of that away from everybody else. You don't need to say those bad things in front of other people. You need to let them know right away. And that's the thing. You have to hit things like that right away. Don't let them linger. And I'm guilty of that. I've done that before. I just start holding resentment against people, and then I have all these negative vibes towards them, and they have no idea. And then I try and play it off like, oh, everything's fine, but really inside I'm like, I can't stand being around you right now. I just don't want to be around you. And that's not a good place to be at. Nobody wants to be around a negative person, and you having resentment like that, once it finally comes out, they're gonna be like, whoa, like I said this so long ago. Why are you getting mad about this? I don't understand. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And the thing is, it really wasn't a big deal, but you've bottled it up so much, and then it finally just came out. And that's the big problem with words, is that Sometimes you hold them in and they just build up more and more, and all of a sudden these became stronger feelings that you put into words, and now it comes off as way worse than it ever was, and it's because it builds up inside your head. You've got to watch what you say. And lastly, the old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That is the farthest thing from the truth. Yes, sticks and stones will physically hurt you. Words will not. But words still can't hurt you. Words can also uplift you, though. So there's two sides to that coin. But they can hurt you. So you've really got to be careful what you say to people. Now, I don't mean tiptoe around people. You've got to be you. I'm a very straightforward kind of person. So it's hard for me to watch what I say. I am guilty of this. I've told people things, and afterwards I'm like, I probably should have said it a little nicer. Or, I say it in front of other people. It's like, yeah, I should have pulled them off to the side. But, things happen sometimes. You just, lose your temper and stuff like that. But you go back and apologize, whatever, you feel in your heart you need to do. But, again, the power of words can be so impactful. Somebody's having a really bad day and you say something negative, it can make their day even worse. We talk about suicide a lot in society. It seems to be more prevalent here in the past couple of years. But, people could end up having thoughts of that. Or if they're having a great day, now you just made them have a bad day because, maybe you were their friend or something. They never would have expected it from you, and now you've been negative, and they're having a bad day now. All because there's a couple words you said in less than 10 seconds. Or if they're having a really bad day, and you say something really positive, encouraging, now all of a sudden they're having an amazing day. They feel great. They're so glad that you're friends, all this stuff. Life is grand. And same way if they're having a really positive day and you say something really positive, that just keeps them going. That fuels the flame. They want to keep doing it. So I really encourage you to be positive. Because positivity is what people want to be around. Positivity is what people need. We have too much negativity in this world. So make sure when you're going throughout your day, whatever time you're listening to this, you're watching this, make sure you're going out and being positive. I hope this message has impacted you. I hope it's done something to stir something inside you to decide to be more positive. I know in my life it's really helped out. I used to be really negative, and it's something that is difficult. It's so difficult to overcome. Being negative is so much easier because that's what a lot of other people are doing. Being positive, not so much. And trust me, it took me years to do this. I used to fly off the handle at anything. So, my family especially knows this. And unfortunately, that's where most of the situations would happen was with family and loved ones. Not so much friends. It would happen with friends and people I knew in high school. And so those from high school and some from college as well saw a little bit of this. I started trying to make those changes in college, though. But, I didn't like that negative me. And I hope you don't like being negative yourself. If you need somebody to influence you to be positive, I'd love to be that positive influence in your life. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. I'll be posting this to most of those places. So if you need to reach out to have somebody more positive in your life, do that. Give me a follow. I do these videos, podcasts, everything. I try and put it out on all the platforms so you can reach it. So whichever way you absorb your social media, your content, I want to be there. So make sure you're just having a positive day and a blessed one. I can't say that enough. It's something that's really changed me is really putting more faith into God and putting more emphasis on my faith. So make sure you remain positive and have a blessed day.